Hey, what's up, PNW fans? Thanks for joining us here in the PNW headquarters for a review of an Oregon recreational cannabis company product. We don't dive into these too much because it's kind of a regional specific review, but we do these on periodically. If you remember, if you click that link, you can see all the ones that we did for Takine extracts on the medical side last year. We're going to do a bunch more of these this year coming into 2018 as we help promote a lot of our local recreational companies. And that's good or bad. We are not promoting the product. We are promoting the industry, right? So we tell you the best and the worst of everything that's out there. So when I say it's regional specific and that we're promoting a company, don't think that we are being paid. We do not get paid to do these reviews, as you all know. Okay, that being said, today I'd like to talk about a new company or a new product on the rec market. This is usually available in the Portland, Oregon area. It is a pre-roll called the Pacheco. Now, this is the Pacheco. Let me get close here. I'm going to show this to you here. Bam. Pack of smokes looks like, right? Filters, looks like a cigarette. Nice, discreet. Looks like you could, it comes in a pack. It's from Eco Firma Farms. On the back, you see there it comes in singles, 3 packs, or 5 packs. All right, so the Pacheco is a premium blended handcraft filtered smoke made entirely of sustainably grown artisanal cannabis from Eco Firma Farms. They can be found at any of these 5 dispensaries. Like I said, they're in Portland. There's Sarah, Electric Lettuce, Pure Green, Kind Leaf, which is in Pendleton actually, Local Leaf, and Human Collective. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and I said 5 dispensaries. It's in cursive. I read that wrong. It's fine dispensaries, and they're in actually 6 of them in the greater Portland area. So that's where you can find them. Let's talk about the Pacheco. So I have a bunch of singles here. This is what we have. Oop. Let me arrange this and then we'll show them off. All right. Oop. Here we go. I'm not holding these right. There we go. Here's the Pacheco. These are the singles. Cardboard box, all the required information on it. The only thing that we haven't seen is lab testing information, so we actually have no idea what the potencies are on these. In terms of a product ready for the rec market, because there's no lab testing, you can't actually buy this on the rec market, but I bet you their 3 and 5 packs have all the required information, and it's just fine. So, moving on, because we're not really here to talk about whether or not they're rec compliant, we're here to talk about the product. They provide 4 different strains of pre-roll. Starting from the highest CBD to the highest THC, we have first the Keen. This is super high CBD, super low THC. It says Keens are a high CBD blend, great for a quick, solid strength hit. Low levels of THC make these little sessions perfect for a light midday puff and move. Be sharp and stay chill. Okay, that's the Keen. Next in line is we have a, let's see, we have 2 different mid-THC, low CBDs. First is the Strider. It says, get up and go with the boost from Striders. With varying strength, these little Debbies can charge energy and stroke creativity with 0 lockdown. For the active worker type, Striders make fine companions. And then there's the Mazzy. The low CBD and mid to high THC range in Mazzies can translate strong to the newcomer or mild to the seasoned smoker. Smoke a lot or toke a little. Mazzies treat you kind any hour. These are the mid-range one, right? Newbies and long-term smokers alike who can enjoy the Mazzy, according to how that's described. And then finally, the Hammerhead. High THC, low CBD. High in THC, Hammerheads are hard-hitting, high-potency smoke with heavy full effect. An honest hit for the seasoned enthusiast, right? So as a medical marijuana patient, I got down on a Mazzy. Or on a Hammerhead. This is where I started. So today, we're going to do the same. We're going to start for you guys. So let's pull this out of the box and show you what you get. I'm going to get close. We're going to be intimate for the rest of this session here because we have some things to talk about when it comes to the Pacheco. All right. So you open the box and slide it out. And the first thing you see, that is a fucking cotton filter, guys. This is just like a cigarette. What do cotton filters do for cigarettes? They filter, right? They take tar, they take a lot of the carcinogens, they take some of that super intense flavor. That's the key point, right? That's filtered. Man, I was immediately skeptical when I opened that and I realized that not only was it a filter, it wasn't a filter like, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember the old True brand of cigarettes. There was a hole in the dead center of the filter that went all the way through, so there was constant airflow. It didn't filter quite as much. Sorry about that. It didn't filter quite as much as a standard filter, but it provided with a lot of airflow, right? And that's why they kind of fell out on the regular market, because for cigarettes, we needed more filtration. That would have been a much better filter option for this. Okay. So there's the first problem. All right, that's the first thing we noticed. Now, here, let me show you. This is, it says Veracruz Nocturne on here. I believe all of them say that. That might be the branding for the paper. I'm not entirely sure, but you can see that there. And then there you go. Nice twisted front end. Looks like a cigarette. You can walk down the street with this bad boy and nobody would know the difference unless they were close enough to smell the weed burning off or on the exhale. That's great. I loved the discretion of this and I was ready to get down on this. And then I grabbed it. These things are packed so tight. I mean, this is tighter than any cigarette I've ever had. This is tighter. It's a brick. This is rock solid. I mean, listen to this. I don't know how well that flick is translating through to the video there, guys, but this is so rock solid. It's rock solid. Like, I grabbed a lighter here, and then you're gonna watch me have to switch to a little mini torch to actually light this thing. Yeah, I swear, I shit you not. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and show you guys, right? I've talked about the Pacheco, talked about everything that they put into it. I've told you all the different brands, but what I haven't been doing is smoking one while we've been talking, right? That should tell you something. Let's move on with that. I'm gonna light this now. That was the hardest straw that I've ever done in my life. And how much did you actually see just leave my mouth? Like, nothing. Look at this. It's already running right here. And I just lit the damn thing. That is the hardest thing to draw. I'm barely getting a hit. It is running like a bitch. That is such a canoe already. I told you I was going to have to switch to a torch. What happens is that this is so dense and the one side is not burning at all that you don't get any kind of even airflow. I'm still not getting anything, and look at this. I'm a third of the way through. I feel like I've wasted a third of my joint. I can't even knock the cherry off. Look at that. I just went and kind of rolled it on the ashtray, and look how thick and compact that cherry is. It's so solid that it won't even compact down. And then watch this. I haven't hit it in, what, 30 seconds now? It's just smoldering away. It burns like a cigarette. You know, cigarettes continue to burn away because they put chemicals in their papers to make sure that that shit keeps burning, so you waste it, so you buy more. Right? It's negative. Not negative, that's not even the right wording. It's predatory marketing, or the product. I'm not accusing these guys. That's the tobacco industry, and it's predatory. They do it on purpose. But this stuff burns the same way. Look at that. It's still going. It makes me feel like there's chemicals in the paper, and whether there is or not, perception is key. Now, I've been going, and you've watched all of that finally start to whiten out to actual ash. So let's see how much of this I can tap out. None of it. It was so tightly compact that tapping just tap, 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 and it totally fell off. What the fuck am I supposed to do with this, man? Okay. Let's relight this bitch. Now, what happens is it finally gets down to about this point, and there's been enough airflow through that the rest of it's kind of been moistened and opened a little bit. And as long as you suck on it like you're smoking a cigarette, you will get a good hit at that point. You literally have to suck on this like you're smoking a cigarette, guys. You cannot inhale like a joint. Joints are lots of oxygen flow, lots of inhalation of smoke. Cigarettes, you make a seal, you suck into your mouth, you release, you inhale, all in one shot. That's how you have to hit one of these things to get any kind of airflow. Joint, barely anything lit up on that. Got a decent hit, nothing too great. Cigarette. Full hit. Now, when I say full hit, that's subjective. I didn't taste a fucking thing. These filters ruin it. You get no flavor, no terpene, no nothing. You also don't get high. This is supposed to be the hammerhead, guys. I'm supposed to be getting high. It's supposed to be the highest THC, the heaviest hitting one that they have. Yeah, sure, I'm a seasoned smoker. So it takes a little bit to get me high, but barely a head change. You've watched me, I've almost smoked a whole joint on camera. I'm barely stoned. I'm literally going to have to turn this off and sit down and do a dab just to finish my high off because I do not feel high from this thing in any way, shape, or form. Here, I'm going to put this out. Hang on. Okay. So that's the Pacheco. I have 3 more here. And you know what? Now that I've done the review, I'm going to actually cut these things open and either re-roll them in my own cones or just load a bowl out of them because I actually really want to taste the Eco Firma Farms flower. Eco Firma Farms grows some of the best, most craft, most organically grown flower in Oregon. They're in the top 10 for damn sure. And they tried to be unique with the pre-roll product, and unfortunately it did fail. I don't recommend that anybody purchase these pre-rolls unless you know that you're just going to buy them and cut them open. We did a couple of things with these things that I won't do on camera, but I'll talk about. So I tested these because you saw how tight that was, right? I wanted to see if there was any way that you could have an easy smoke out of it. So the first thing we did, here, not gonna, like I said, I'm not going to do it on camera, but we are going to talk about it. So the first thing we did, we opened this up because it extends up about another 1/8 of an inch of paper. And then starting at the bottom, we did the rotate. You all know how you fucking loosen an overpacked cigarette. You rotate and you pull up. You rotate and you pull up. And it loosens everything up, spreads it all out a little bit. You suck through it a few times, really hard and heavy to add some moisturized airflow through it, right? That helps the paper expand a little bit. And then finally, you have a product that you can smoke through. Tried that. Didn't work. We had the same problem as what you guys witnessed on camera, just not to the same extent. Like, instead of losing half of our joint before we felt like we could smoke through it, we only lost, like, I don't know, 1/3 of our joint. So there are things to do. Like I said, though, that airflow thing, right? The hole in the filter, that got me thinking, and I pulled out a pin. My fiance has these pins that for sewing that is super, super long and pretty thick. So I shoved it through the filter, all the way through till it was stuck out here. I pulled it out, and I flipped it around, and I went back through the top, so I was following the same hole and making sure I was making a solid channel all the way through, including the filter, kind of like a canagar. And then I started doing the loosening thing around it, and what that did is that loosened the paper up, or the weed up into the paper, creating more room, and it also packed it around that pin, which created a solid tube through the center of it. That was our most successful joint that we smoked. I don't really feel like we wasted too much of it. It still wasted at least a good 10% of the tip of the joint just trying to get it lit and to smoke evenly. But once we got it lit and smoking, that airflow through the center definitely helped. It didn't canoe nearly as bad, and we actually were able to pass it around a couple of times and feel like we actually had a decent joint. That being said, the filter still blocked a whole bunch. We didn't taste anything. We didn't feel stoned at all, even though we were smoking a hammerhead. That's my disappointment. I tested the most strongest, most potent one, and you know what? I'm an outlier, and I get that. I have a high tolerance, but on the market for people who are trying to buy the most potent flower that they can find, they're gonna go for a hammerhead, and then they're not gonna get high because of this fucking filter. So there we go. There is my take on the Pacheco. I love Eco Firma Farms. I follow them on all of their social media. I've been a longtime fan of their growing practices and the flower that they produce, and it's unfortunate that I had to get such a negative review of these joints. But unfortunately, they do not pass our review process. They do not earn the PNW Canada Reviews badge of approval. I don't even give them a 5 out of 10. I don't recommend that anybody spend their hard-earned money on these, and I really hate to say that because I do love the people behind the product. All right, guys. So I'm not going to bash on them too much because I do love the people behind the product, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short. Thanks for joining us here at the PNW Canada Reviews headquarters for a review of the Pacheco's pre-roll. Buy some weed and roll your own. Buy another pre-roll. Don't buy this one. I'm sorry to say it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right there. That's the red button that lets you see all of our reviews and lets you know when we post new ones. Head to pnwcr.com. That's the review where you can see all of our reviews, plus you can see some other things that we stream in. Check out the new website. It's a stonerandpeanwonderland.com. That's for the new magazine, where you can see an outdoor magazine for the cannabis enthusiasts. We have our first mini issue out, and we are coming back strong in 2018. Quick shout out to Midwest Concentrates. These guys tossed us a shirt when they sent us their Canna Clamp for test and review. And we dig these guys a lot, and so far we're digging the Canna Clamp, so that review to come too. Thanks for joining us here in the Pacific Northwest for another review, and we will catch you all next time.